we're going to do a quick video today about the Maxim 9 versus suppressed gun. So in this case a Glock, but you can substitute any SIG, Walther, HK, Smith & Wesson, whatever. Name your favorite semi-automatic pistol. Why am I doing this video? Well, I actually got my stamp back for my Maxim 9. So it was stamp day. It was awesome. Submitted it in late May, sort of the last day of May, and it was approved October 21st. So that's on an individual form, less than 5 months. So we're really trending down on individual form times. Unfortunately, that doesn't do anything for trusts. Trust times are still 10 to 12 months and haven't seen the downturn there yet. I guess the examiners really don't like reading your trusts. So that is what it is. But today we're just going to take a quick look at the Maxim 9 versus the Glock. Just talk about all the features. So number one, shootability. Okay, I will say right now the Maxim 9 less recoil than Glock with a can on it. Period. Less recoil. Why? Well, the Glock actually weighs more, but all that weight is up front here in the barrel. You still have a very fast, slide coming back, and you get all that recoil. With the Maxim 9, the slide is actually really small. A lot of the weight is in the gun, but less reciprocating mass, and that translates directly to less recoil. Number two, mags and ammo. Well, it turns out they actually use the exact same magazine. So today we're using the Magpul PMag 21s, but they accept both guns, take all Glock pattern magazines. So that's a draw. Number three, let's talk about optics. Okay, so on the Maxim 9, it is pre-cut for an optic. You can buy the adapter plates directly from their website, and they have adapter plates for, RMRs, Delta Points, Fast Fires, all of the standard micro red dot sights. Great. Very, very easy. On the Glock or any other centerfire gun, so this one is not cut, but, Trijicon sells a dovetail mount here that replaces the rear sight. If this were an MOS model, obviously it would be similar to the Maxim 9. It'd be cut, you buy the right plate, you're good to go. A lot of other companies now are making striker-fired handguns or center-fired handguns with plates. Walther has the new PPQ something something, and you can buy the M&P Core series and VP9 Tactical and all that good stuff. So I would say that's also a wash too. Just follow the directions and you'll be good to go on your RMR. How about triggers? Well, stock for stock, I'd put them pretty close. Stock Glock triggers are never going to win an award for anything, and neither is the stock Maxim 9 trigger. However, unlike the Maxim 9, with the Glock you actually have aftermarket options. Okay, so this is the stock trigger face. However, I have the complete Zev competition spring kit in here along with the 3.5 pound connector. So at the end of the day, the trigger on my Glock 17 is much nicer than the Maxim 9. But that doesn't mean the Maxim 9 has a horrible trigger. Mine pulls around 6.5 pounds. I've seen videos from other YouTubers that pull around there. I've also seen some videos where they're pulling like 10 to 12 pounds. So it seems like there's quite a bit of variation in the stock Maxim triggers, but I personally got one that is more than acceptable. But I do have to give the edge on the trigger situation just to Glock. As far as ergos go, I actually prefer the ergo of the Maxim 9. The grip fits my hand a little better. I just think it's more comfortable. I like the texturing. Yeah, I prefer the way it sits in my hand versus a Glock. There's nothing wrong with Glock ergos. I don't mind them. I don't mind the finger grooves. They fit my hand just fine. But I will give the edge to the Maxim. As far as performance with subsonic ammunition, you will hear the shooting video later. You can't really tell on the mic of a GoPro, but the Maxim definitely sounds better, period. It's a deeper tone. It's probably a few dB quieter. but you know, I was in the indoor range, couldn't take my air pro off. But I've shot these both outdoors, and I will say the Maxim 9 is definitely more comfortable to shoot with subsonic ammo. They both do have first round pop, but overall the Maxim is definitely more comfortable to be around if you're going to pop some rounds off. What does that leave? Well, it sort of leaves the elephant in the room, and that's price. The Maxim 9 is not a cheap gun. Okay, the MSRP is $1,500. You may be able to find it cheaper than that, but for this sake of this video, we're going to go off MSRP. So $1,500 plus the $200 tax stamp. You're looking at $1,700 for this gun, and that's before you even get to any optic. Okay, $1,700. That's a lot of money. But let's look at this gun. Gen 4 Glock will run you about $550. If you went to the MOS model, it'd be about $650. If you don't go the MOS model, you still need to buy a threaded barrel, which is about $100, right? So you're looking at $650 either way for a Glock that will accept a suppressor. Now in my case, I went with the Octane 9. I've had this can for a really long time. It was my first ever pistol can, so you know, it is what it is. But it retails for about $900 plus a $200 tax stamp. It's got $1,100 in the can, $650 in the gun. That's $1,750, which is more expensive than the Maxim. Plus, I mean, even I'm guilty of this. No one buys a Glock and doesn't do anything with it. In my case, I only changed some of this internal spring and trigger parts to make it a little nicer to shoot. But now you're talking about $1,800 versus $1,700. And the cost of the, you know, the optics are the exact same, so that's a wash. So at the end of the day, if you have a gun like this, if you have a suppressed centerfire, you know, pistol, it's very similar in price to the Maxim. But with this, you get a much shorter overall length. Okay, much shorter overall length. You actually have the ability to holster this thing. There are holsters made for the Maxim 9. You could carry it if you wanted to, and it's not that ridiculous of a premise, especially if you shorten this. You take these baffles out, it's still hearing safe with subsonic, even defensive ammo, and you could absolutely carry this thing. That you can't really carry. So you get shorter overall package, lighter overall package, less recoil. You can actually carry it for less money. Now you could say, yeah, there are absolutely cheaper 9mm suppressors out there. That's true. So that might change your value proposition a little bit more. You can probably buy also a slightly cheaper gun too, but it is in family. Okay, Silencer Co. isn't asking you to you know, sell a kidney to buy this gun when plenty of people have this exact setup at home. So I'm going to roll in the shooting footage next. You know, take it for what it's worth. Like I said, the mic on a GoPro isn't great, but it's better than nothing, and I thought I'd take you guys out to shoot because, as I said, got the stamp back on this guy now, so it's all mine. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. You guys a little comparison between the Silencer Co. Maxim 9 integrally suppressed handgun and a run-of-the-mill Glock 17 threaded barrel RMR. We're going to go ahead and throw a traditional Silencer Co. Octane 9 on there and just compare the two, see how they sound. Both guns will be using 147 grain ammunition. It'll be subsonic here indoors. It's 10 rounds. Now we'll try the Glock 17. That's nice and snug. 10 rounds, same ammo.